Hello, everybody. This is Larry the GM, and I am going to share a different perspective on the Texas Longhorn game, Texas versus Ohio State, than I guess anybody else. I guess I watched something different. I expected something different, and therefore I was not confused nor surprised by what happened today. And so I guess we're going to go through my view of the game, and then you can do with it whatever you want. But here's the big picture for me. I if if you go to the Patreon site, I'll put the link in the description for this video on YouTube. Go to the Texas versus Ohio State depth chart comparison, and you're going to see how close these two teams were. Now, Texas failed to score multiple times in the red zone. If they had scored in the red zone, even if it were field goals, if they had just not gone for it on fourth down and kicked field goals, this game would have been a 14-13 game. If they didn't turn the ball over, they could have. Now, okay, you can say, well, there's a bunch of ifs. Okay, here's the deal. This was always going to be a defensive game. You can see that and I invite you to go to the Patreon site and read the description of my total talent rating, and you'll understand and you see that the first string of these two teams, the defense out talented and out experienced the offense both ways. That's what you saw. You saw two defensive teams essentially dominate this game. And Ohio State had one big play and a drive for a touchdown that was essentially aided and abetted by the Texas defense making a couple really unfortunate dumb penalties. And if they don't have the dumb penalties, Ohio State probably at best scores a field goal in that drive. No, Ohio State actually would have been off the field. So I just am not going to go to the fear and loathing that most apparently are spewing out at Texas. Guys, I'm not going to be there for that. All right, number 2. I guess let me share another part of this. Let me stop the screen sharing and then let's share this. All right, let's look at some statistics from this game, guys. All right, Texas their offense racked up 336 yards. Ohio State's offense had 203. Texas had a really unfortunate interception. That's going to happen with a young quarterback playing his first big game on the road. You know, the one thing you can say about Texas defense, they did not turn over Julian Sand. That's not good. But Arch Manning was 17 of 30 and a touchdown. They had 170 yards passing. Julian Sand only had 126 yards passing. You're going to hear how great everything was great for Ohio State. Guys, Ohio State only had 203 yards. That was, and they had virtually no rushing attack. The Longhorns rushed for 166 yards. My wife can attest to you, I just wanted Texas to keep running the ball because they were getting 3, 4, 5 yards. They averaged 4.5 yards per rush. Until they had to late, they didn't really need to be throwing the ball because Ohio State was not consistently stopping the run. So what we're going to maybe the big criticism here is that the Texas wasn't as patient as they needed to be early in this game and just didn't keep running the ball when they could have. All right, so my major takes are simply this. The game was a lot closer than even the final score makes it look like. The Texas played way better than anybody's going to tell you. And go ahead and spew all the disrespect and hate on Texas you want. because you're going to look like a fool before the season's over with, because Arch Manning is going to be just fine. They have several games before they play Florida where they can get their offense in gear. They can discover, hey, wait a minute, maybe we should run the ball a little bit more. Again, in that article, you will see that the Texas in the articles on the Patreon site, you're going to see the Texas rushing attack is better than it was last year, and that is actually the strength of this offense. And with Arch being able to run and Wisner and Baxter, this team should be running the ball a lot more. And I think that's what you're going to see happening in the next, well, through the rest of the season. You're going to see much more of that. All right, so that's my take. I know, like, you people are going to scoff, they're going to laugh. I am not like I am not nearly as disappointed in this performance today as maybe 99% of the Texas fan base. I'm confused by what game they watched versus what game I watched. Was confused by the TV analysis of, like, we expected this to be a shootout. I don't know. That just shows you it's just terrible analysis. If the TV people really expected this game to be a shootout, they're stupid. Okay, that's what I'm going to tell you. All right, guys, that's it. Hot takes from Larry to Jim. Hopefully, we won't have to do hot takes after every game. This game went very close to what I expected it to be. I was rooting for a Texas safety because, oh my gosh, that would have been fun having a Texas safety, because they were one penalty away from getting the safety as it was. So there you go, guys. That's my analysis. Let me know if you have questions. Hit me up on Twitter or on the YouTube. Thanks. Bye-bye.